Hey guys, Bullshit here. So, I have realized that I have not done a lost pages thing in a minute. This is not from my lost pages because I don't have the book and I normally would just, show my face. But I took a minute to go around and collect all these comics back when I was in my moody emo phase. Um, I am into a lot of things. You guys know this, Doctor Who. We have Miraculous. We have Scooby Doo and SpongeBob and all that. And it's just a thing that grew up on me. And well, Doctor Who. It was in the middle of some of the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith's era, where it stopped and I wanted to go see some stuff because I was kind of bored and I needed more content. Well, I came across the Doctor Who's um, episodes that fans made, and I'm like, hey, this ain't too bad. So I checked out MLP. I only look into G4, and that's only when Discord or Rainbow Dash is a part of it because that's when things actually happen in that show. I'm not there for any friendship or lessons or anything. It's just a lot better when they're fighting and all that, like freaking Dragon Ball Z. Well, basically, I was originally watching the adventures of Doctor Hooves when I came across Love Struck Derpy and Discord Hooves. Um, so basically, I started looking into this, and it's basically they're just a different universe from the Adventures of Doctor Hooves. And basically, this was one of the only like fan fiction slash Tumblr things I did because this is a Tumblr story. Um, but anywho, um, this is the discorded. Well, this is Love Struck Derpy, Discorded Hooves, and I don't know if we're gonna be placing Zerum Hooves on this because that is apparently either an alternate or a future to this storyline. But anywho, this is the story about how the Doctor became evil, and he basically he did something to where he regretted everything. See this picture that he lost basically everything in this moment, and he fears it. This is Doctor Hooves. This is Discorded Hooves. Um, he now fears this memory, and whenever he hears a cluster bell, he freaks out. That's Jack, by the way. We'll get to it. Um, and he doesn't know what to do. So we'll get into this part again, but hold on a second. We'll go back to this one, and we'll stay on this one so I can tell the story. This story is not connected to either the show's version of Doctor Who's, which is a thing, but he doesn't have any time machine or TARDIS or anything. He's just an inventor. Or he is not also, this is not a part of the adventures of Doctor Who's, where it's just Derpy, also known as Ditsy Doo, and the Doctor just running around doing adventures. This is a separate one where basically it's the same thing, but it's a little bit different. So in Love Struck Derpy, we are introduced to Ditsy Doo, also known as Derpy. She's a fan favorite character of the show because she's got a lazy eye. She's a male mare. She ends up finding the Doctor unconscious, memory wiped, and no TARDIS. They become friends. They fly into the TARDIS, and they start adventuring in time and space. On the way, Derpy falls in love with him. And this is when the Tumblr actually starts. of love-struck Derpy. We see many adventures, interactions with him, Derpy's love sickness. When we learn where the timeline is on the Doctor Who story, because the Doctor is revealed to be married to River Song at this point, because and this is introduced to the Tumblr Anons when they're messaging and questioning the Doctor. Well, I mean, they're questioning Derpy, but the Doctor cuts in and says, "Yeah, don't tell her because I don't want her heart to be broken." But yes, it's a thing. This means that it's past Pandora's box, which means it is the rebooted Doctor Who universe, and the Doctor's death that was made by the Doctor at the lake has already passed at this point, because River had to do a paradox to stop him from dying, and then he revealed that he was in a giant robot body to come back and not die for real. He just became very well unheard of, because he died basically. He was getting too big. Um, Anywho, basically, after this whole thing, we know that this is the 11th Doctor, because of his sonic screwdriver, but we don't know if it's fully, because we don't know if he's regenerated into the 12th by this point. We just know it's past that point. Um, and at this point, that we do not know about the War Doctor, so the 11th Doctor in this series can at least regenerate. And also, we don't know about Equestria Girls, so the portal to the human world and the pony world is not existent in this universe, because, well, multiverse, because the Tumblr universe became a huge multiverse of each other. And basically, during the Love Struck series, you can find all the other Doctor Who's, including a special one known as Time Turner. They cross over quite a bit. And there is a missing chunk that I could not find on anything. Apparently, it's either the Doctor's kids or some other person's kids, but Derpy has Sparkles, I think it is, and Dinky Doo. And I don't know where they come from, but apparently they're well known as the the Doctor Who / Discorded Who's daughters. And we believe that this could have happened. I believe it's probably because Discord came out and discoordinated, or bedeviled Derpy. So the bedeviled Derpy Tumblr most likely came in, and she got a little into it, and they ended up doing something to where the girls were made. Anywho, basically all that ends. We have all these adventures, Love Struck Derpy. We have Dinky and Sparkles. And then, Bedeviled Derpy's most likely a thing. We have all those crossovers. This is when we start getting into Discorded Hooves territory. There's a fight against Discord in the entire, pony world. Derpy and the Doctor are away from the TARDIS, find themselves in Discord's maze, and a TARDIS appears close to the Doctor, and he finds out that it's his TARDIS. When he goes to open the doors, he finds Discord's truth, and he discoordinates him, which is basically a move where Discord taps the head of a individual, and they basically become the 180 of themselves. Basically, if the Flash was to be touched, he'd become Reverse Flash and undo everything he does. And basically, if someone who's brave, they'd become cowardly. And then in this truth, basically the Doctor is a huge, worse person And he is an actual coward in this. Um, and basically, he is he's seen the truth of Discord. He's become discoordinated, so he runs to Derpy, and he basically says, "You know what? We can't fight Discord. It's over. We lost. Let's get into the TARDIS and go." She wants to stand and fight. Save everyone that they can. But he hits her. A thing that the Doctor says he would never do is harm another innocent person, and he does to get her into the TARDIS. This immediately wants this targets a red flag to Derpy, and she says, "I want to go home. I don't want to be your companion anymore. You ran away from innocent people that were dying and needed your help. Well, not dying, but were getting tormented by Discord, and you ran away like a coward. I don't want to be with a false hero." Um, and this left the Doctor feeling betrayed. Um, let's see here. Let me go get the other page. Because the Discorder hooves is a lot bigger than the Lovestruck, if you guys can see. During the time the Doctor becomes a F-boy, basically whatever Finance F-boys is, he is, a lot of sex and all that. He becomes a mayor because of Poison Joke. He physically abuses Derpy a few times. He was injured by Dinky because of that. Turns back to normal sometimes, back to his normal Doctor Hooves. He starts a relationship with Cupcake Twilight. Cupcake Twilight is another universe of MLP where basically the Cupcake creepypasta has taken place. Basically, this is where Pinkie Pie becomes Pinkamena. She becomes crazy, and she basically takes the parts of others and makes them into cupcakes. And most times, she uses the leftover of like the pelt or the cutie mark and makes it into clothing or accessories. And basically, this get out of my way. So the Pinkie Pie becomes completely insane, starts killing people, including the cakes and Rainbow Dash of this universe. And basically, she's found out by everyone. Also, Twilight is an alicorn during that point, but because of Cupcake Pinkie Pie, she takes the wings off Twilight when she was sleeping one night. And they find her out. They execute Pinkie Pie because of the known death of Rainbow Dash. All the main six, or what's left of them. So there's 4, which would be Fluttershy, Rarity, Applejack, and Twilight. Twilight goes into her library to hide herself. Applejack becomes basically an alcoholic, starts abusing Apple Bloom, and stays away from anyone except for her farm. Rarity, I believe, becomes Miss Little Rarity, and basically becomes another Tumblr, and she becomes a huge obsession to Pinkamena. And then you have Fluttershy, who kills herself because of Rainbow Dash's death. So there's 3 main 6 left. Honesty, friendship, and generosity, but they're apart from each other now. But he becomes in a relationship and calls her Marshmallow. He gains wings, gets taught by another Rainbow Dash alternate, which is known as Hurricane Dash. He releases these TARDIS's soul. He comes across the Master. He reunites with Captain Jack Harkness from the 10th Doctor and 9th Doctor thing. We all know who Jack Harkness. He's a immortal, basically. The Master tried to get Twilight to kill herself because of all the depression and all that she has. So he uses that against her. But he is unsuccessful because the Master's able to the Doctor's able to get there in time to, get her back to a hospital. Pregnant Scoodlo, another Tumblr, where another full it's like he's a quarterback kind of guy. He's a Chad, and he uses her, and she gets pregnant because of this, and during after her pregnancy, the basically the adoptive mother, aka like the person who's she was the godmother of Scootaloo's mother, but her mother died to cancer. So her godmother take care of her, but because of the godmother can't make enough money, and Scootaloo's only a fool still, the baby is not fit in the house, so they need to go and give her for adoption. This process starts, and Scootaloo runs away, but it's in a fatal condition, and the doctor comes, saves both of them, and he basically gives Scootaloo's kid to Cupcake Twilight to be somewhere to be where Scootaloo can get to her. And then let's see here, and he's also a part of the whole court case and all that. But let's see here. After all that, he has all that stuff set up. The Daleks appear. Discord gets Jack, and basically he discoordinates to him just enough to where the Doctor slips into he's too far gone by this point, and he shoots Jack, and he throws him off the TARDIS, saying that he's finally betrayed for the last time. He's no longer getting companions. Elson, when he wants to be an F-boy, and we have people like Carrot Top or Octavia. Octavia was a big part of his Aftermath apprentice. Let's see. So Jack was his last conscious, but that's gone now. So now the Doctor has no one to look forward to because he's felt like Jack and Derpy has betrayed him. He's got a few things going for him, but he only comes back and forth here and there now. He's too far discoordinated. His changes through time and space. Oh yeah, okay, so I need to get Raw Soldier's videos up today. Because of him doing the TARDIS and all that through time and space, it's creating ripples and tearing the reality apart. Now it's up to Jack, the Master, Warden from the Pregnant Scootaloo Tumbler, Derpy, and also others to stop him. And that's the end of the Discorded Hooves because he went offline a while ago and no longer updates his stuff. That's not it. We do have the Zerum, which is supposed to be either an alternate version or the future of this, where basically the Doctor's completely caught and became a pet of Discord, and he basically Discord abuses and does all this stuff to the Doctor, where he no longer calls himself the Doctor. He lets Derpy try to come in and try to save him, air quotes, but it's like the third time, it's like the second time she finally gives up on him, but the third time she comes in, tries to reason with him for a little bit, but then just calls him a failed fake hero, basically, where he's just a huge liar, and this gets him emotional. Discord takes that emotions for him to kill Derpy, so he no longer has those ties to being the Doctor because there is no Jack anymore. There's no one, so it's just Derpy. And without those ties, he's just a plain pet and puppet to Discord. And throughout all this stuff, he has all these nightmares. He has all these things from the past coming back to him. But he slowly transitions into Zerum, which is meaning zero or nothing, which was given by Discord. He's basically the pariah to the Anti-Monitor in this series. But he basically is given chaos powers to wreak havoc. And there is two things. There is a truth that the Doctor keeps getting told, which, if you guys go back to the Discorded, this is where the truth is. This is the Doctor's truth that that Discord tells him. If he needs to remember this point to know the truth, and that's why he became discorded, because he remembered it for a minute, but then he keeps pushing it in the back of his head. And then the other truth is the fact that he has chaos magic. He's always had it. He just needs to use it to get what he wants. If you want to know about, I'm gonna show you it, because I have all of the things I could have came around. But if you want to go on YouTube and find it, because the Tumblr, you have to go way down into the classics to find it, because I had to go all the way down to Jack era, and it was like super, like, it took me like 10-20 minutes to get down. But if you go to the Doomsday AMV, the Discorded Doomsday AMV, there is some of it, but you have to kind of slow it down or stop it at a certain time. And the end basically begins where this starts. And then episode 2 of the Ask Discorded Hooves, which is also on YouTube, he does wake up to a nightmare, which is supposed to be a part of the truth. And he does say that he can't remember what the nightmare was about. So this truth he can't remember no matter what, because he keeps forgetting it for some reason. Well, here's why. So basically, we are introduced to what the truth is back in the Jack Harkness, traveling companion, and we're also shown this a little bit during the Zerum, but it is well known that this is why Doctor Who's is in this universe. So basically, you have all these clustered bells going off. The Discorded Hooves is freaking out. Jack doesn't know what to do, but he does the Doctor does compose himself enough to get back into reality and, fix it enough. But after all the bells and whistles are going off, he can finally rest. And this is troubling him so much that he slips into darkness, basically. And he's falling into his dark mind that he doesn't know where he's falling. Well, here is why he is the way he is in this series. He doesn't remember, he doesn't know where his TARDIS is. He doesn't know why he got there in the beginning of the Love-Struck Derpy because of this moment. So here we are, we have the Doctor, falling into his darkness. He knows he's approaching something terrifying. He doesn't want to remember it. And then we start with Amy, Rory, and the 11th Doctor. So, okay, explain to me how one day of how it turned into 2 weeks. So I had a few bad judgments. I'll get it right. Okay, so this is Amy right here at the bottom. Okay, I have an idea. How about the next stop we make doesn't involve Zygons? Yeah, or wedding proposals to kings. Rory, we've went over this, and it was an accident. That's Rory, her husband. Relax. How about Mexico? Good old Day of the Dead festival. Arriba, if you guys don't know. Basically, that is the quote of the Doctor Hooves / Discorded Hooves is Arriba. So that's kind of sad, but in all that. So this is the 11th Doctor, so this is during the 11th Doctor thing. If you go all the way back to this one, he says this was supposed to be an anniversary gift. So after the reboot of the universe and all that, after all the reboot and all that, you have basically after the Pandora's box, they actually get married. And they're all happy and all that. The doctor comes back and congratulates them. Um, but this is during their wedding time where he's giving them a honeymoon runaway in the TARDIS for a gift. And the cluster bells are starting to go off. And he's basically noticing them. So, wait, hello, what are you beeping for? Right, quick change of plans, Doctor. Oh, relax, Amy. It's the equivalent of a pit stop, even if that. And then it gets really going. Is this your idea of a pit stop? No, it doesn't make sense. Something is pulling her, something immensely powerful. So at this point, I have connected that Discord is pulling the TARDIS because he is basically a god. And I'm guessing all these reality cracks and all that, he's able to catch onto the TARDIS, and he's pulling the TARDIS in. And this is why the cluster bells are going off. I have no idea. I have no choice. I need to set her to choose the safest path. Everything else is beyond my control. This is impossible. It's completely breaking the laws of reality. So whatever's happening is troubling the doctor so much that it shouldn't be happening. And then here we go. Here comes the crap stuff. So at this point, everyone who's super young, back away because this is very, very scary to watch. So, Doctor, it hurts. The TARDIS indeed brought me to the safest place for me. But the same could not be said for them. Doctor, it hurts. Help us. So they're in immense pain right now, or feeling like they're dying. I can't. There's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. He's over here in the regular world, basically saying this like a nightmare favor, like he's speaking through his dreams. And then here he is. You have these hands. These are Amy and Rory's hands. They're basically broken. There's nothing left of them. And there's nothing I can do. And he's regenerating. So the 11th Doctor is regenerating during this universe switch. And this is the regeneration. It was released way afterward. But basically you can see Rory and Amy in the back breaking down slowly. You have the Doctor slowly regenerating into a pony. You see them completely crumbled in the background here. And there's Dr. Hooves. Amy, Rory, no. We were all torn apart and reshaped, but I was only able to make it through alive because of my regeneration. This universe was not so kind to them. It was one of the most painful and horrifying things I've ever seen. So basically, the Amy and Rory's bodies were trying to turn into ponies, but because they don't have the ability to regenerate, which means the universe is trying to shape them in the way they want it, but their bodies can't, make hooves or anything. Unlike the Doctor's, who his body can regenerate to anything. He can go headless, he can have no nose. The regenerating second can do whatever it wants. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. So, basically, their bodies cannot compensate for the change. The Doctor, he just has free will of he doesn't have free will, but his regeneration allows it to be possible to turn into a pony, where basically their bones broke, and just crumbled under the change in the pressure that was the universe trying to shape them the way they needed to be. And they couldn't make it. You can see all these organs, you can see all these snapped bones, you can see where a pony ear was supposed to be and the mane was supposed to be, but it didn't go. You had the cluster bells going off, but I still wasn't safe. I wasn't meant to see what happened. I wasn't meant to be caught in the flames with their corpses. yeah, they were completely dead. They basically snapped, broke, and died. There was too much pain and suffering, and they died a very painful, slow death, is what basically the doctor is saying here. The TARDIS throws him out because it's just they're trying. The TARDIS doesn't know what it's doing. It's bursting in flames. It killed Amy and Rory. It made the Doctor die and regenerate. Well, the 11th Doctor, and then here we have the Derpy from Love Struck finally coming up to him and finally saying. And basically it says it was too painful. I didn't want to remember anything. Not if I meant remembering my mistake. So I forgot everything. And that's it for those. So basically, it's just the fact that he let the TARDIS do its own thing. And the TARDIS said, we're going to an alternate universe where it could be the safest because, Discord's over here pulling it towards him. So I can plot it close to that, away from the problem, but it's still going to be going in there nonetheless. And because this is still the safest route for the Doctor, no one else, because he's the pilot. It's kind of like Titanfall rules. As long as the pilot survives, it doesn't matter what happened to this machine. So yeah, the 11th Doctor died and regenerated because of the switch from human universe to pony universe. And he's now the 12th Doctor, technically, as Dr. Hooves / Discorded Hooves. And Amy and Rory were killed in the in all of this. But basically, a big thing that you can go in is they do during the Discorded Hooves era. There is a I'm trying to remember. I think it was like the miniverse or something like that, where it was a female Tumblr pony, and she explained kind of how it is. Just the fact that there's all this stuff. She explains how it's the Doctor being pushed by the Discord, not himself, and the fact that she makes a few jokes and few things, and then she mentions in probably the last one was the fact that she would not make the trip to human, because everyone's like, why don't you come to human world? And she's like, okay, here's the TARDIS, here's me, I'm a tomato, you smash it all over the place, and you come out ketchup. You come out ketchup. And that's how Amy and Rory ended up. Basically, when you change and you're not a Time Lord and can't regenerate, you're screwed during a physical change from parallel universes. So anyhow, that was it. If you guys want to see any of their stuff, you can go to the Tumblr, Ask Doctor Who. Bye.